much into, or think of like the early Michael Keaton Batmans. You know,
Michael Keaton will always be my Batman.
You know what he is?
I love him.
Well, he never did the "Where's the trigger?" the
no,
voice.
I feel like they're just gonna like. I want to just give him like throat coat tea. Like all
did you
the time.
ever see? It's college. I think it's called College Humor on YouTube. And this guy nails the bat. People like
is he Bat Dad? Is it that one?
He's
Have you seen
I think
Bat
they call
Dad?
it Bad Man.
Oh, Bad
But
Man.
everybody, everyone, if you want, you can even pause the episode. Get on YouTube. The first one I saw, somebody sent me Batman Can't Stop Talking About Sex. And it's the scene where he finally beats Bane. Spoiler alert, I guess, but come on. Where he beats Bane down, and whatever, the girl ends up being the bad guy, and she stabs him or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he's like, "Where's the trigger?" For one thing, like best Batman impression ever,
nice.
right? And they play out the scene very similar to the scene. It looks dark, it looks real, the costumes look good and everything. Bane has that voice,
that weird thing
Batman,
on him.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing the voice like to a T, and then he gets stabbed by the girl, and then he looks back, and the score is sweltering, and then all of a sudden he stops, and he's like, "But we totally did it." And then all of a sudden, they're like, "We have the trigger, we're blowing up Gotham," but this guy can't. He's just talking about the fact that they screwed, and that's the whole thing, you know.
That's
but
perfect.
his impression is so good, and it got so popular on YouTube that now there's like 5 of them, including one where it's how he found his voice, where he like grabs, it's like Batman Day 1, and he grabs a bad guy and he's hanging him out, off of like a ledge, and he's like, "All right, now you've been a bad guy," and the guy's like, "Whoa, I don't feel fear at all."
That's not scary.
And he goes through like, Al Pacino, like he just goes through a million voices, and finally he's like, "Okay, wait a minute." And the guy's like, "Oh, hey, that's good." He's like, "No, I just lost my voice." Yeah, no, that's good. But anyway,
that one.
I hated the Batman voice. I love the movies were good, but I didn't like the Batman voice.
I like the world that they created.
Yeah.
They're being really like gritty and lived in.
Let's talk about the fact that if you watch a decent TV show with great fast-moving fight scenes, the fight scenes are really cool.
Yeah.
But how about the fact that like the Batman in comic books, he's like the best fighter in the world.
Yeah, he's a ninja.
Yeah, he's basically the best there is.
Yeah.
And I think the fight scenes were just slow, kind of bulky. I know you have the costume on, but I thought they were. Look at that, and then look at some of the YouTube like fan-made videos of Batman, and that guy's like whipping it up. So like that kind of that's the main thing that lost me. That, and then I need a superhero moment. I need that one moment where you're just like, yeah, where you're just cheering for the good guy. And they were so focused on making it real, like the vibe, that they needed to just nudge him just that little bit to make him a bit better than.
Well, I mean, he's in this like fantastical world.
Yeah, they did a great job at that.
But I feel like they can allow him to have moments that are bigger than life.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting people like the Joker, like that's not a dude that you're gonna find in our world. So like you can give him that moment of where he can do something that we as normal people cannot do, because that's what makes him so great.
Yeah.
So
that's the only place that they lost me, because performances were great, stories were cool, and the world they created was great, but just that one, they were so focused on making it real, that they forgot they were making a superhero movie.
Yeah,
and then
at its heart, it is a comic book, and you cannot keep parts of the comic book and not have that be pervasive in the entire world. Otherwise, it's going to take you out of it.
I'm older than you. I was a little kid. I was like in 2nd grade or something, but I saw the Christopher Reeve Superman, and I remember there's a moment where, he has the Superman moment. I think she's falling out. Lois Lane's like falling off a building or something.
And he catches
her, and then she looks up, and the helicopter's going to fall on them, and then he catches that, and I remember the whole theater like erupting. Like, the spectacle. It was a superhero moment.
Because you just get so jazzed about it. Like, that's so awesome.
They never get, even Batman gets his ass kicked by Bane, and then he comes back like, "All right, now I'm going to fight you slowly, and then maybe beat you." Like, there was nothing about that was, and then, whatever the other one was where, the autopilot in my ship is broken, or maybe it isn't.
Who knows?
Like, who cheered? Like,
I think Marvel has found the formula.
Nobody's got it better than those guys.
I think Marvel has found the formula, and I think DC is still looking for it.
DC's lost because they do this. We're so going to get into Sarah Moore, but now we're geeking out on movies. But I mean,
No, but this is Sarah Moore. This is what I do. So we're
see,
good.
I'm hugging you from afar right now just because I love this. We're gonna have to just hang out more just because of this. I live for this kind of stuff.
Yes, let's do it.
Well, yeah, it's funny because and it's weird because you have to separate what real Marvel movies are and what the not real Marvel movies are. I don't know if you know about all those weird logistics going on. Like
Yeah.
Spider-Man isn't owned by Marvel anymore. The movie
Spider-Man
rights.
is owned by Sony.
Right.
And because Disney bought all of the Marvel rights, which I think is great.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
Disney, there's no company that knows how to protect a brand like Disney.
They know what
like
they're
they
doing.
know how to promote it, and like they acquired Star Wars, and I peed my pants a little. I was
Yeah.
really
Oh,
excited
God.
about it.
Well, you know what they do with the Marvel things? They put them in their own building, and they don't walk in there. They don't. Mickey Mouse does not go into the room like, "Hey, what are
Yeah.
we doing? Give me a cameo."
Yeah.
Like they let them do what they do, and they're like, "Oh, and here's our Disney money."
Also, let's just support you in
Let's
being
support
awesome.
you. We're not gonna like try. They care. They know that they know their fan base.
Yeah.
and they're letting them do it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say the last Spider-Man movie again. There's a moment. There's a moment where whatever he first sees Electro. So look at Amazing Spider-Man 2. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I should just peek in
No,
my.
the one with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah,
The second
yeah.
one.
So the one, the more, the second one with Andrew Garfield, where
Yeah.
he's, Jamie Foxx. Okay, so Ray Charles is Electro,
Right.
and all of a sudden, he's there throwing electricity and give me money, and they're
Yeah.
doing all that thing, and then wow, that would be great if
That
Ray
would be
Charles would have played
awesome.
Electro. Too late, I guess, but
Oh,
still,
man. Missed opportunity.
they're doing the thing, and there's a one moment where he notices like there's electricity all over the floor. And it's getting, I think it's like working its way up to like a stairway of full of people.
Yeah.
And they do this slow motion thing, and it's a little campy, but still he like has this moment where he has to figure out a way to stop people from electrocuting themselves, because the whole ground becomes electrocuted, and he flips back, and the music is perfect, and the scene is perfectly shot.
And it's
then he,
allowed to be
boom.
campy.
Yeah, he stops, and he like did it. And
Yep.
for that moment, you're like, superhero.
You're like, yeah, man.
Superhero moment.
You're the greatest.
Yeah, and that's the middle of the movie where none of the Batman movies, they just ended with like, well, that was quite a piece.
I did that.
Yeah, I felt more like, especially the one with Heath Ledger, I felt like awesome.
Yeah.
But I felt more like I just watched The Godfather. Whereas you watch that second Captain America movie,
Oh man.
That's like a
Winter
great-
Soldier was
welcome to my life so far. You'd think by now I'd be a star. I may be long-winded, but hey, there's just so much I have to say. Maybe lick your lips when you're hungry. Maybe drop your head when you're sorry. Maybe shake a bit when you're worried. That's